Hello everyone, and welcome to Behind the Bulletin. Today, we bring you a story that has sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. In a completely unexpected twist, Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin have appeared together, a moment so sudden, so electrifying, that social media erupted within minutes. What truly happened behind this surprising encounter? And why is the internet exploding with theories, excitement, and speculation? Stay with us, because we're diving into every detail right now. No one saw it coming, not the media, not the fans, not even the most obsessive rumor trackers who lived online 24/7. Everything started with a single blurry photo posted by a random passerby. The image, taken under the pale glow of a streetlight, showed two silhouettes walking side by side, one tall, unmistakably broad-shouldered, and the other slender with a familiar elegance. At first, no one dared to believe it. But within minutes, higher quality videos began to surface, each one exploding like a grenade across social platforms. There was no longer any doubt. It was Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin, together, at night, at a location so remote that it instantly rewrote the narrative. The entertainment world went into meltdown. The first video showed them stepping out of a black car, both wearing caps and masks, trying to conceal their identities. But Yoo Yeon-seok's unmistakable posture and Chae Soo-bin's graceful gait betrayed them instantly. The clip zoomed in shakily, capturing the moment she laughed softly at something he whispered. A hand lightly brushed her hair, and even through the mask, you could sense the warmth in her smile. Fans went viral. What are they doing together? Are they filming something? Is this a date? A project? A scandal? What does this mean? Theories multiplied faster than anyone could track. For years, both actors had avoided unnecessary noise, staying far away from controversies or relationship rumors. Yoo Yeon-seok was known for his quiet professionalism and warm, mature charm. Chae Soo-bin was beloved for her bright, down-to-earth personality and striking emotional presence on screen. They were respected, admired, and completely unexpected as a duo. But the story didn't end with one video. Another clip surfaced, this time taken inside a dim cafe tucked in a hidden alley of Seoul. A witness, shaking with excitement, filmed the two seated at a corner table, their heads tilted close together over a single script or notebook. Yeon-seok leaned in, his voice low, and Chae Soo-bin nodded with a seriousness that contrasted sharply with the earlier laughter. The tension between them was unmistakable, not romantic, but intense, focused, electric. Something big was happening. When the cafe owner was asked for details, he simply smiled nervously and said, "I can't say anything." That one sentence ignited a firestorm. For a simple friendly visit. Why refuse? Why the secrecy? What were they planning behind locked doors and disguised faces? By dawn, the internet cracked open with a massive leak. A supposed entertainment insider posted that Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin were preparing to announce a joint project, a dark, psychological thriller that would pair them together for the first time. The rumor sent shockwaves instantly. The idea of their chemistry colliding on screen was enough to ignite an entire continent. Fan edits, speculative posters, and imagined plotlines flooded platforms at lightning speed. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared anyone for the next twist. Because just hours after the leak, both Yeon-seok's agency and Soo-bin's agency released statements denying everything. There is no joint project. Not filming together. Coincidental meeting. The denials only added gasoline to the fire. Fans weren't convinced. And neither were the media outlets who had already begun digging deeper. If it was just coincidence, why were both actors acting unusually evasive? Why would their agencies respond so quickly, and so defensively? Something felt off. And the public was not ready to let it go. Later that afternoon, more footage surfaced. This one taken at a secure studio entrance. Yoo Yeon-seok was seen ushering Chae Soo-bin inside through a private door, shielding her from cameras. Hand hovered protectively near her back. Her steps were quick, purposeful. The intensity of the moment was impossible to ignore. By evening, the internet had descended into full hysteria. Entertainment blogs claimed the two were secretly filming a confidential project that the industry was desperate to keep hidden. Others insisted something personal was happening, something delicate, something complicated. Tweets multiplied by the second. Fan forums exploded with heated debates, and every platform became a digital wildfire. But while the public was losing its mind, Something else was happening behind the scenes, something even more dramatic than the videos. The rumors, or the denials. Inside a dimly lit studio, Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin stood together against a wall-sized storyboard. Papers were scattered everywhere. Scribbled notes filled with intensity. Was pointing to scenes that had not yet been filmed, or perhaps scenes that no one was supposed to know about yet. Expressions were serious. Their energy tense. There was something bigger at stake than anyone realized. And when they stepped out of that studio, their fates, and the fate of the story surrounding them, were about to be rewritten completely. The next morning, the storm reached its peak. Every major news outlet in Korea was covering the story. Articles analyzing their body language. Timeline breakdowns of every movement. And speculation videos flooded the internet. Fans were desperate. Agencies were panicking. And Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin? They were nowhere to be found. Noon. A single news van captured the exact moment the two actors stepped out of a private building together. It was crystal clear. Yeon-seok held an envelope in his hand. And Soo-bin kept glancing over her shoulder nervously. They walked quickly, whispering. Exchanging sharp looks that revealed the pressure they were under. And suddenly, someone shouted their names. Cameras surged toward them like a tidal wave. The moment was chaos. Flashes exploded. Reporters yelled questions. Fans screamed. Staff members panicked. Truly stunned everyone was the moment when Chae Soo-bin instinctively stepped backward, bumping into Yeon-seok. Split-second decision. He placed his arm firmly around her shoulder, shielding her from the avalanche of cameras. The gesture, protective, instinctive, emotionally charged, ignited the internet in seconds. The agencies could no longer contain it. Afternoon, both agencies announced an emergency press briefing. Fans held their breath. Reporters sharpened their pens. The entire industry paused, bended over the edge of what felt like the biggest reveal of the year. The briefing room was packed wall to wall when the door finally opened. Yoo Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin stepped onto the stage, calm, composed, but undeniably carrying the weight of the last 48 hours. He wore a simple white blouse. He wore a dark tailored jacket. They didn't hold hands, but the closeness between them was unmistakable. Yeon-seok spoke first, his voice steady but heavy with emotion. Something we must clarify. Something that has grown bigger than both of us. The room fell completely silent. Soo-bin then stepped forward, her eyes searching the crowd. We didn't intend to mislead anyone. But we were not ready to share the truth, not yet. Reporters leaned forward, fans watching the live stream held their breath. Then came the revelation. We're, in fact, working together, but not on a drama, not on a movie, and not on a commercial. Brought them together was far more unexpected and deeply personal. They had been chosen to co-lead a secret humanitarian film project, privately funded, highly confidential, and to protect the identities of victims they were helping bring awareness to. Their late-night meetings, hidden studio entrances, tense discussions were all tied to this mission. They weren't hiding a scandal, they were shielding vulnerable stories that needed protection from sensationalism. The room gasped. Went silent. Everything shifted. Suk continued, explaining that the secrecy was necessary to prevent interference or exploitation. Soo-bin's voice trembled slightly as she described meeting the individuals whose real-life stories would be portrayed, stories of resilience, tragedy, and survival. We felt responsible, she said. We wanted to help, to give these people a voice. But to do that, we had to work in silence. And then something happened that no one predicted. Chae Soo-bin reached for the envelope in Yeon-seok's hand, opened it, and held up a document, the official release from the organization behind the project, allowing them to finally go public. It contained signatures, seals, handwritten letter thanking the two actors for protecting the cause with such integrity. The press room erupted, but not with scandal. With criticism. With applause. Outside, fans flooded the internet with messages of admiration, pride, and overwhelming support. Stan communities united. Hashtags transformed from speculation to celebration. Their unexpected appearance together was not the beginning of a scandal, it was the beginning of a movement. And as the world finally understood the truth, Yeon-seok and Chae Soo-bin stood together, not as a rumored couple, not as scandal targets, but as two artists who chose courage over comfort, truth over noise, and compassion over headlines. The harm they caused was real. But the reason behind it was even more powerful. In the end, the storm that swept across social media wasn't just about a mysterious appearance or unexpected videos, it was about the truth emerging from the shadows in the most powerful way. Suk and Chae Soo-bin didn't set out to create chaos. Yet their quiet mission turned into a tidal wave the moment the world caught a glimpse of them together. What began as confusion and speculation transformed into admiration and respect as the truth came to light. Their courage, their integrity, their unwavering commitment to something bigger than themselves revealed a side of them the world had never seen, two artists standing strong for a cause, not for attention. Thank you for staying with us until the very last word. Your curiosity, your support, and your passion for every twist and turn are what keep Behind the Bulletin alive. Because of you, we continue to bring stories that go beyond the surface. Stories filled with depth, emotion, and truth. We truly appreciate your time, and we'll return soon with even more gripping revelations just for you.